Having an experience, that's what I want to talk to you about today. Having an experience, because right now here I am sitting in this beautiful tree circle having an experience, and right now you are sitting watching this film having an experience too. So that's one thing we have in common all the time. That's what we're doing, having an experience. This got brought through to me very, very clearly on a retreat some time ago now, when I had my own time with the plant medicine. And after everything I went through, which was very remarkable and miraculous as always, I remember being left with this thought: this is me having an experience. And there is a short film clip on one of the films about the plant medicine where I actually say that live at the time. So this is me having an experience, and what I want to talk about now is what I would call breaking the trance. And what I'm referring to is the trance that we all get exposed to at different times when we suddenly get these thoughts in our minds. The thoughts that say, I should do this, I shouldn't do that, he should this, she shouldn't that, they should, they must. And then it goes even further out when we think about institutions. Institutions shouldn't be this. We get into a situation where we are in conflict. And it even comes down to governments. Governments should this, governments shouldn't that. And all these put us into a trance. And what I'm really inviting us to do is to drop into the present moment, let go of all the shoulds and the musts and the have-tos and the shouldn'ts, and to be in the present moment. And I want to give thanks to a particular person who is well known in England and throughout the world. She was one of the British Prime Ministers. Her name is Margaret Thatcher. And Margaret Thatcher was known for a few things. One of the quotes from a long time ago was Margaret Thatcher the milk snatcher. When she was the Minister of Education, she took away the free milk that children received in schools. When she was Prime Minister, one of the things she was known for is what people said, Margaret Thatcher selling the family silver, when she divested a lot of government holdings and gave them away to private corporations. And the other thing she's very famous for in this country is producing mass unemployment at record levels at that particular time. So this is my reasoning for giving thanks to Margaret Thatcher for throwing literally millions onto the dole, onto unemployment. And what this meant for the people concerned is that they suddenly found themselves thrown off the hamster wheel of their daily existence of the 9 to 5, and with no possibility for a job, and receiving very small amounts of money from the state, barely enough to live on. It put millions into the situation where they were forced to think, perhaps for the first time in their lives. And this went on for a long time. It went on for years. And as a result of this, what happened is that many, many people in those situations realised that they were thrown upon their own resources, and they had to become creative and inventive to find ways to bring in extra income so they could survive and feed their families. And so when I look back on Margaret Thatcher, I can see that what she was doing, perhaps unconsciously, was catalysing a massive awakening process in a whole generation of people in this country, which caused them to become more creative and resourceful. And then my mind stretched back to other epochs and periods in history which were also regarded to be incredibly negatively. And the first one that came up for me was Adolf Hitler, who was responsible at least partly for the killing of many, many millions of people, most specifically Jews, but also other people in extermination camps. And such a horrific experience that the whole of the world went through with that. So one thing Adolf Hitler and his regime taught us all is it is completely unacceptable to be going around killing huge numbers of people. And it's such an obvious thing to say, but it's very important that something really negative like that had a positive consequence and made the global awareness that this is unacceptable behaviour. And unfortunately not everyone's been quick on the uptake, and I'm particularly reminded of Pol Pot, a leader in Asia, in Cambodia, and he then in the 1980s presided over the execution of huge numbers of people in equally or perhaps even more barbarous manner. And so our awakening process continues through all these things that we have been through as a human race. And this is what it comes down to, because at all times this is what we're doing. Here we are having an experience. And I'm particularly reminded of Lao Tzu from the Taoist philosophies. There are many other religions that came up with equally wonderful, inspirational ideas. And what Lao Tzu is pretty much saying is the Tao is the way, life is the way, so chill out, enjoy your life and accept everything being what it is, the way it is, because that's a choice you have and it's a much more productive one to do so. There was a time when I was living as a nomad with a car and a caravan, and I used to take art materials around to different people, and I used to encourage people to be artistic and play and draw with paints and pencils and crayons and the like. And I remember doing one particular very simple drawing, and the words underneath I wrote, "Relax and let the universe unfold in ecstasy at your feet." And those have been really helpful for me. And then there's something else I want to throw in, which I was given back in the time when I was in my mid-20s, which is the idea that everything that happens is right and just. In other words, accept everything that happens to you on a higher level. All experiences are valid, all experiences have got their virtue. So at the same time as I'm inviting you to relax and allow the universe to unfold in ecstasy at your feet, I'm also inviting you to declare your intentions, to take actions, to bring out into the world what it is that you desire for yourself, and take action in a very particular way, in the most potent, magical way, whereby you define your intent, you take action, and then you let go of any lust for result whatsoever. So you do what you do and let it work out the way that it does. And this seems to be one of the golden ways to make things work really very, very well. So everything that we're experiencing as a human being, as part of the human race, is all about our evolution as individuals and also as a human race. And so what's happening is that we are all progressively becoming more and more wonderful than we ever imagined we would have been a long, long time ago. And this is bringing us to the point of thinking about, well, imagining there is a creator that's watching all this unfolding on this planet, then one of the first thoughts that occurred to me about this creator must be just having such a laugh at what's going on. And it's so funny when you start to look at the way things are in the world, because you have a situation where there are people who get incarcerated into mental institutions and they're forced to take drugs. You get other people who get imprisoned for taking drugs. You get athletes, for example, who take drugs and they get into trouble and they get disqualified. You get people who make drugs who become very wealthy, like the pharmaceutical companies. You get other people who make drugs, they get imprisoned. And it's just all so strange, and it's all so baffling, it's all so confusing. And hey, but this is our human experience. And this, to me, if I think about it from a creative point of view, it brings me this lovely expression which has become so popular recently, which is LOL, LOL short for laugh out loud. And it's really tapping into something very mature in terms of the human race and in terms of our creator, because if there's one thing I can see our creator doing, it's laughing out loud at our human nature, expressing all diversities of experience in the way that we do, taking any issue, whether it's drugs or sex or marriage or employment or money, and experiencing in all the myriad ways that we do. And as things unfold, simply allow yourself to enjoy things unfolding the way they do. And don't forget that if you feel a big belly laugh rising up from your gut, let it out, let the laughter out, and enjoy your experiences. So something else to say, and it's so easy for me to forget this, and I'm very grateful to Dan for reminding me. Every person is having their own unique experience. You've got 6 people in a room watching the same screen, and they're going to be having a different experience, because this is perhaps our greatest gift, is our uniqueness, our individuality. And it's really something to celebrate, that we all perceive the same experience in different ways. And this is your contribution, the way that you are. So it's an invitation for you to be ever more yourself, and to let go of what other people might expect of you or want of you, and just be who you are and enjoy it increasingly. So this is my conclusion. Here you are and here I am. We're both having our experience of whatever it is. So whatever comes your way, the invitation of Lao Tzu is to see as your life as being your way, and you are unfolding. You are the own God and Goddess in the making, which is what you are. And we are becoming miraculous beings with more and more abilities. And despite all that's going on in a negative way, freedoms are opening up for people in countries where they've been oppressed for a very long time. And it's just a very exciting time to be alive. So enjoy your experience. And remember, every time you write LOL on a text or an email or on a Facebook comment, you're tuning into that maturity that our Creator would experience, which is just to enjoy the humour of the situation, and I can see that humour is one of the aspects of us becoming gods and goddesses in the making. So have a good laugh, enjoy your life, enjoy your experiences, and be easy about everything. Thank you.